welcome to Walnut Creek TV as we present to you boys basketball right here from Los Lomas High School. The Knights get set to take on the crosstown rival Northgate Broncos. I'm Anthony Schultz, Shane Wilkes alongside me. Shane, a couple of teams that have been struggling here lately, but they do have some players that are having good years. And among them, Nico Kiefer and Dylan McMahon, a couple of guys that wear zero. And right now, a couple of teams that need these guys to play well if they're going to have a chance to make the postseason.
Definitely. Riding a combined 7-game losing streak is no fun coming into a rivalry game like this. And Dylan McMahon and Nico Kiefer, both of which are huge when it comes to the defensive end and sharp shooting. So kind of a replica of each other, but it'll be interesting to see how they guard each other throughout the course of the game.
Yeah, both teams come in at 2-5, guys. So if they're going to make the postseason, their wins got to start right now. Consider this one a playoff game. We'll be back with the opening tip-off right after this.
I surrender.
All right, pal.
Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's up?
Do we have a gun?
Why do you ask that, kiddo?
Can I play with it?
No, absolutely not. It's not a toy. You know that. Anyway, I need it to protect you, your sister, and Mom.
But what about the 8 kids who get shot every day by mistake?
Where'd you hear that?
Where do you keep it?
It's hidden.
I bet it's on the top shelf of the closet, under your sweatshirts. Is it loaded? Remember when I found my Christmas gift? You always told me to be curious.
No, that's not what I meant.
And when it's just me and Mom, I could use the gun to protect her.
No, Justin, I promise. I'm always here for you.
But Dad, you're not always here.
Sunshine through today with seasonal temperatures. We should reach our normal high of about 82 degrees by this afternoon. Clear skies tonight with a low near 70.
Introducing the starters for both teams. First starter at the Broncos, number 0, Dylan McMahon. Number 2, Dylan Golan. Number 4, Nico Moore. Number 10, Larry Cook. And number 44, Saunders. And now the starters for the Broncos. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and move your hips and turn on your cell phones for the Broncos national anthem.
Can you see that I'm utterly glad when so
right, back to the start of the game, and for the Northgate Broncos, the two Dylans in the starting lineup, McMahon and Golan, Wu, Brady Cook, and Luke Saunders. And on the other side, Kiefer, Dustin Marquardt, Marco Balistreri, Zach Patterson, and David Tibbetts gets the start for Las Lomas. The Knights in white and the Broncos in black with the gold trim. Anthony Schultz along with Shane Wilk, and we set it up for you. And, well, I guess no time like the present. Both teams need winning streaks here. They're going to have a chance to make the North Coast section playoffs. All right, set to jump center here, and the start of the ball game is underway, and the Knights will have it first.
Yeah, something to definitely look out for in this game right now is that number 15 on the screen, Marco Balistreri, is at the 5, but Dylan McMahon going to be having to play 4 and sometimes at the 5 to match up with his height.
Into the post for Balistreri. He'll kick it back out. Here's a dribble drive. Double team is there, and they knock the ball away. Good switching defense, and they had the double team in the right spot.
Yeah, Northgate doing a great job of keeping him in front.
From downtown, and that one won't go. And here come the Broncos with their first possession of the game. Both 2 and 5 coming into tonight's play. It's been a rough time so far in league play. There's a shot up, and that is good. So getting to the hole is number 4, and that's Wu with the first basket of the game.
Yeah, both teams sticking with a man-to-man defense. Definitely don't want to test the range of these two teams.
Apex of the yard, 3 just does dribble out. David Tibbetts from downtown, and that looked like it was going down, but unfortunately not.
Yeah, Las Lomas looking for the long ball a little bit early on.
Here the Broncos weaving it around. And there's another three-point shot off the rim of the backboard. No good.
Yeah, if I'm Northgate right now, I definitely like the way they're approaching this game. Physical, staying on their man, and doing a great job of at least getting some open looks. Being in an environment like this on the road, you definitely want to get out to a hot start, and Northgate's doing everything they can to really jump out to that early lead.
Yeah, great turnout here tonight. We had a stoppage, something going on down on the court, down on that right side. And got all the student section over there. Everybody's standing up. Hard to see what's going on, but going to be side out here for Las Lomas. 6:33 to go, just getting underway here in the Battle of the Creek boys basketball.
Right now, what it looks like, what Northgate lacks in height, they definitely make up with physicality and speed. They're very quick on the ball on defense.
Nice dribble drive to the inside and a foul call. Now they're going to call traveling. So a little bit of contact, but the turnover is going to come here, and the Broncos are going to get it back.
Yeah, Las Lomas a little bit sloppy with the ball early on, kind of taking some rush shots and looking to kind of force their way in the paint rather than swinging it around and looking for the open man or open cutter.
That's a good switching defense there, and shot goes up. That won't go. Defensive rebound taken by Las Lomas. It's Tibbetts, and here come the Knights up the floor, and there's a three-point shot off the rim and no good. That was Kiefer from the outside, so they like that three-point shot, but nobody's yet been able to knock one down just yet.
Yeah, great closeout there from Brady Cook to be able to contest the shot as well.
Oh, and here's a steal, trying to get the ball inside, but the Knights are having none of it, and they get the takeaway.
Could be a low-scoring bout as it seems from the start. Both teams physical and on man-on-man defense pretty intensely.
Nice baseline move there. Here's a shot from the outside. That won't go. A nice box out. And defensive rebound here upcoming for the Broncos as they bring it across the timeline.
Northgate's game plan definitely showing apparent right now. They look to slow the game down right now, keep it at a low scoring, not let Las Lomas get off to any runs, and they're doing a great job early on at just keeping the game at a slow-paced, steady game.
Dribble drive to the inside. Defense is there. We're going to have a foul call, but the help defense was excellent that time as number 15 came in, and that is Las Lomas. Number 15 is Marco Balistreri. Came over in good shape.
Yeah.
A little bit too much body, though.
It looked to be. It might have been on the lower half there. What looked to be from the shoulders up, it looked to be a clean block, but good job of Brady Cook being able to absorb the contact and get to the line for a couple free throws.
A couple of free throws upcoming for the Broncos trying to tie this game. And the first one no good.
I will point out that the Los Lomas student section is unusually quiet, so I'd look for a big eruption as they score the first points of the game. Nobody even making a sound on that side of the Los Lomas arena.
So Balistreri going to get his first rest of the game. Campo comes into the game for number 33. 1 of 2 there on the free throws. And that'll make it a 3-0 game in favor. And this one going to be taken away. Beautiful interior defense, taking away that drive.
Yeah, that could be the third time in a row now Los Lomas has looked to try and just force and pound it inside rather than taking maybe 10 to 15 seconds off the shot clock and looking for the open look.
Go into the post, they'll come back out. Now inside, turnaround shot blocked. Campo got it that time. And now we've got an elbow with the foul. But boy, both teams trying to get the ball inside at times, and both defenses right now up to the challenge on that.
Yeah, if I were Jason Rockwell, the coach of Los Lomas, or even Ron Pennington, even though the Knights are held at 0 points, I'd look for both teams to switch to a zone defense and force them to shoot outside, because both game plans seem to be wanting to get inside the paint and for some easy layups, but both teams not having it at the moment.
3-0 in favor of the Broncos. Here's Campo, wants to post up. Here's some double team help. Kind of an interesting looking pivot that time. There's a shot from the outside, off the rim and no good. And that's Kiefer with the miss. And here's back the other way come the Broncos. There's a shot off the back iron, no good.
Great box out there from Balistreri.
Campo has it stripped. But there's Tibbetts there right on it to get it back. And now we're going to have a tie-up and a jump ball situation. And let's see, it's going to go the Broncos' way on the possession arrow. 3:54 to go here as we are getting started, period number 1. And so far, the Broncos with the lead, but both offenses having some major difficulties putting the ball in the hole.
Yeah, this game is a chess match, but no pieces are really moving at the moment. Both teams can't really find any form of scoring against this physical defense on both ends, but that's kind of what you would expect from a rivalry game.
You know, the defensive work has been really good. Here's Campo, and he's just too much inside there. And now we're going to have another tie-up. And boy, as they're trying to get split it apart here, trying to get that ball. And Marco Balistreri, he got a piece of one of the Broncos, knocking him to the floor, and the crowd seems pretty upset about it.
Yeah, just a little bit of a scuffle, but when it comes to teams like these, it's a little bit more than that each time. But it seemed like
seemed inadvertent, I would say.
I wouldn't. Both teams should not read too much into this one. Seems like the refs did a good job of keeping everything separated and able to continue the game. But hopefully they get that cleaned up a little bit on the floor, because there might be a little bit of problem with traction under there come the next possessions.
Yeah, so nothing on Balistreri's part would tell me that was, intentional in any way. It was just, trying to rip the ball away from an opponent and kind of caught him with the elbow or something there and knock him to the ground.
Yeah, Dylan Golan was, after the jump ball was called, he might have been hanging on the ball a little bit too long. Balistreri just maybe got a little impatient at the moment, but good that they're able to play on pretty quickly after that.
The full court pressure provided by the Broncos. And they're going to back off that pretty quickly, but they're going to make the Knights take a little bit of time coming down the floor. And that is Bevenu into the ball game, number 5. First time we've seen him tonight. Trying to back down. There's Balistreri from the outside, off the rim, no good. And a defensive rebound taken by the Broncos. That's been another aspect that's been good as well. We're not seeing too many offensive rebounds so far. Into the post, working against Balistreri, turn, trying that step through, and they're going to get called for traveling, and that's Tyler French into the ball game for the first time.
These two schools might want to swap strategies on offense quickly, with Northgate maybe wanting to take some outside shots and Los Lomas to get in the paint, because they do try and force in the paint, but the majority of their shots are coming from outside the arc. And as it shows on the scoreboard, nothing has fallen yet.
Not at all. Tyler French is one of the guys that will be working on that inside, 6'4", and he's been a big guy in the middle. And the guy who can run the floor, protects the rim, and can finish around the basket. And so far, the defenses are really having their way in this game. 2:39 to go as we have another foul here, and it's still only 3-0. And Shane, we were talking about it earlier and telling me, well, 50 points a game is all they scored. Right now, are they going to get to 30?
I know,
It's going, not looking good.
Both these teams averaging, giving up 56 a game, but both of them scoring in the mid-50s. I would look to be maybe a 30-point game from each of these two teams.
There's one to the outside. Shot put up off the back of the iron. No good. Balistreri going after it, couldn't get it. Beveno's got it now beyond the arc. Tries to penetrate. Double team came there. There's a shot out the outside. That won't go. And another defensive rebound. And that's Luke Saunders taking it that time.
Los Lomas has constantly been shooting threes and are basically just unwilling to give in any points in the paint that they seem to just have completely abandoned. They look to try and find the interior pass, but just settle on the outside for the past 6 minutes.
Elbow jumper from Saunders, and he knocks it down. Luke Saunders will play baseball at the next level. He's going to go to college, University of San Diego. He is an outfielder. Tony Gwynn's old stomping ground. There's a shot by Beveno that won't go. Another rebound here for the Broncos. Here they come the other way. The floor's a little open right now, and then the defense just completely wraps up that drive. There's a jumper, and off the rim and no good. Beveno with the rebound, but we saw the drive that time, and immediately three white shirts in the paint to discourage that drive.
Yeah, both these teams, great defensive performance right now, but kind of on the opposites of how they're kind of approaching this defense. I would say a backfire, to say the least, though, from this Los Lomas student section, as I'm witnessing right now. This whole kind of quiet till the first points has not turned out too well. If it's gone on almost the entire first quarter, Los Lomas still has a goose egg.
Yikes. Los Lomas, as Shane just alluded to, still looking for their first basket. That last foul against McMahon. So from the baseline, this one coming way out to Campo, and boy, that was not a very high percentage inbound pass. Campo drive with the left hand, takes on the body, no foul call. He wants one, but none forthcoming. Saunders from downtown, and that just does skim the net. And here, right, there it is. There's the cry of air ball.
Yeah, Los Lomas keeping quiet just a little bit longer, trying to hold out. But Los Lomas right now, Northgate's so physical at not only whoever has the ball, but if you look, whoever doesn't have the ball, they're so tight on each offensive player when they're away from the ball that it's hard for Los Lomas to kind of set up a play and move without the ball, which is so crucial each offensive possession.
There's a high screen. Here's Beveno now beyond the arc. Trying to get something going, and boy, the tenacious defense. Tried to get it inside to a teammate, could not, but he gets it back, but just not a lot of room with which to operate.
A little confusion there. I think the ref had thought that Coach Rockwell was calling a timeout, but instead he was almost signaling for a substitution.
Beveno's going to come out, and re-entering the game for the Knights will be David Tibbetts. Look at this, 30 seconds to go here, Shane, in this opening quarter, and the Knights have still not found a hoop. Here's a drive. That one just rims out, and right now there's just a cap on the basket here for the Los Lomas Knights, but that's not to take anything away from Northgate because their defense has been suffocating.
Unbelievable defense. Most of these shots have been contested anyway. I would expect Los Lomas to make a couple of them, but great job from Northgate on the defensive end.
Boy, there is a tough three. That's off the rim, and boy, something's wrong with that rim. It's tilted right now. There's a shot put up, and that tilts it even more. And that will do it for the quarter, and just 5-0 in this first quarter. A fresh 8 minutes back on the clock. We'll take time out and be back for second quarter action right here from Los Lomas High School.
Yuck! What happened to the water? Somebody dumped oil in the water supply.
If you dump your oil, tempers boil, it ends up in the bay. Oh, smile, it's Oil Buster Camera. Don't want your oil to choke us, you're in focus, your neighbors just might say. Smile, it's Oil Buster Camera. Well, it's not fun to pay a big fine for polluting our water supply. No, it's not fun to talk to police as the neighbors walk on by. So now you're reeling, how's the wallet feeling? A big fine you're gonna pay. Smile, it's Oil Buster Camera. Smile, it's Oil Buster Camera.
All right, a fresh 8 minutes on the second quarter clock. Let's take a look at the DFL and the way it stands so far. Camp Lindo having a great year there, Shane. 16-5, 7-0. CVC 16-4, another fine year. They're 5-1 in league. Mirabani 12-9, 4-3. And there's Northgate 8 up, 13 down. And we told you about the 2-5 in league. Acalanes a nice record overall at 14-7, but they're also 2-5. College Park 10-11, they are 2-5 as well. And there's Los Lomas, good-looking record at 13-7, but just 2-5 as we said. So our teams tonight really having a tough time in league.
Yeah, battling for that top 4 spot, it seems. I will say, though, if I would have told you before the game Los Lomas is going to have 0 points within the first quarter, you'd think they'd be down by a little more than 5.
Very fortunate to only be down by 5. Here's Los Lomas. They're swarming defense as well. Drive inside, shot off the glass and home. And a good-looking drive right there. And that was Dylan Golan, one of the sophomores. And Hagilion told me about the sophomore class, and he is really excited about this group. And he tells me the freshman class is really good as well. And there's one, and they're going to call traveling. And boy, you saw the drive on the baseline, and quickly 3 black shirts right there.
Yeah, Northgate's defense, both defenses, to be fair,
really
have been outstanding. But Northgate's defense, it's just, I can't say enough about just the physicality and the way that they approach each and every possession. They approach every possession like there's 30 seconds to go in the game and they need a stop. When in reality, if you're in the first quarter, it's kind of that time where maybe you can give up a basket or two. It doesn't hurt too much. Northgate, incredible on the defensive end.
Good-looking drive right there, and then we're going to have a strip but a foul call. And that'll be Barker who's called for the foul. That's his first personal. And Brady Cook is going to go to the foul line. Brady Cook shoots it well, can get to the basket. And then, they told me sometimes the sophomore moments, a little bit of that inexperience shows, but he's certainly getting better. And he played varsity as a freshman. And watch out. When this guy gets hot, they tell me, he can really light it up.
Yeah, definitely a player to watch out for. And, Los Lomas still with that 0 on the board. If I can give any advice to them, it's a high school game. There's a little bit of pressure right now. Each possession, take it slow and steady. Run the plays that that Coach Rockwell is giving you on the sideline right now. And kind of don't get too flustered from this pressure. They seem to be a little bit flustered under pressure now, and they're a little tentative in shooting the ball. But right now, just kind of go to what's worked all season long.
Boy, turn and a spin by Campo trying to get free, and he draws the foul. Made a good-looking move on that baseline, and he does draw the foul, so he'll go to the free throw line and a chance now to get the Knights on the board.
Yeah, as they look to get on the board here, look for a loud explosion from the right side of the arena. It's what, again, I'm just assuming. I don't know anything of their plans, but I would assume.
And the first one is no good.
Yeah,
down 9-0, 6:36 to go here in the first half. And it has been a struggle here for Los Lomas. And the Broncos opening up a little bit of space here with that 9-0 lead, but there is kind of almost a mocking cheer, I would say, as Campo gets the shot. And now it's 9-1. That comes at the 6:30 mark here of the second quarter.
It could be at a different point total that those students get up. I may have been wrong about the 1 point, but it could be any number of points.
There's a 3-point shot, and that is good from downtown. And that is a Brady Cook for Northgate, and now it is 12-1.
Definitely in low-scoring games, as one team starts to catch fire, it is common for the other team to kind of start finding their way to be able to put some points on the board, and maybe Los Lomas will be able to kind of start that hot streak, as Northgate seems to be shooting the ball pretty well now.
Here's Campo again, who's looked good moving it, but left hand a little too strong. Coming off the backboard, missing the rim entirely, but he looks pretty good when he puts the ball on the floor. There's a drive, and count it, and a foul, and a chance now for a Bronco three-point play.
If there was a worst-case scenario for Coach Rockwell right now, starting the game off, this is the second worst-case scenario. Them being down 14-0 would be the worst. This is an absolutely horrid start right now for the Knights. Being down 14-1 this early in the game is not just a momentum swing towards Northgate, with Los Lomas already having that home court advantage and just that environment to be able to thrive in under these types of pressure games, but playing from a hole like this and having so much pressure on your back really to close the gap before halftime, before obviously making some offensive adjustments.
Well, Saunders going to go to the free throw line, a chance for a three-point play here. And you look at Los Lomas here, Shane, and boy, talk about a hot start to begin the season. They won 9 of their first 10, including wins over Pittsburgh and McClymonds. De Anza finally broke up the party on December the 28th, and then they split the next 4, and one of those defeats came at the hands of these Broncos, 52-46. That was back on January the 10th. They then got wins over Miramani and Windsor, but coming into tonight, we talked about the combined 7-game losing streak to these teams. 3 of those are for Los Lomas, and that's what they come in with. And, well, it's been a struggle for them since that hot start. But, you know, you get off to such a great start like that, and then you get into league and things just change.
Yeah, it definitely intensifies each game. Each game means a little bit more when there's such a short amount, but so many wins that you do need to accumulate. And that pressure seems to have gotten to both these teams, but right now, I'd say the pressure weighs a lot more on the Knights.
And there is a three-point play. So Luke Saunders, the drive, the bucket, the foul, and here is a steal. Has to get out of the way of the official. Pick it out. Defense trying to get back. That shot won't go, and that'll be an air ball out of bounds.
You know, a guy we talked about for the majority of the pregame was number 0, Nico Kiefer. He has barely touched the ball this entire game and almost got off no shots throughout the first now 10 minutes of this game.
15-1. There's a shot they need. That won't go. Patterson battles for the rebound, but Saunders wins that joust down on the baseline. And it's also tough when you're not getting a lot of second chance opportunities either. There's Kiefer, pass inside, reverse layup won't go. Saunders was there. And there's Kiefer. That was a nice play there. It should have been an assist. There's a shot put up, and that one is got the bottom of the cylinder. And then David Tibbetts hits the 3, and boy, did they need that.
Yeah, that was a big shot there for the Knights. Still down double digits, but good to finally get the ball going in. First points from the field.
Well, that was Kiefer, or pardon me, that was Dylan McMahon. Just did miss that one, but that was one that looked like it should have went in. 15-4 in favor of the Broncos. There's some nice interior defense, but somebody lost Zach Patterson, and he couldn't hit the bunny.
Oof, a
Ouch.
Great cut, great find too from the big man. That was perfectly executed on the Knights' part, but boy, that's just kind of how things have gone for this first quarter and a half.
And here is Patterson not being shy, takes the drive, gets the foul, and he'll go to the free throw line. They're going to call it on Saunders. That'll be the 16th foul and the second on Luke. But I like Patterson, the way he didn't shy away from the ball. He got it right back and went. But the Broncos actually just kind of lost him that last time, and that just hasn't happened very often here tonight.
Yeah, a little bit of lapse of a mental game there from the Broncos. There's that eruption from the Knights.
Oh, boy. Boy, got to get a shot of that. They were fired up for a free throw.
Once it hit that 5-point total, that student section is erupting now.
Again, seems a little bit of mocking there. 15-5, 4:02 to go in the second, and the next one rattles home. 15-4
Yeah, maybe that student section, those vibes will maybe pick up the Knights offense a little bit now. They're scoring infinitely more points than they scored in the first quarter.
Chant of defense coming up from that big student section over there on the other side of us. Can the Knights make a run? They trail it by 9. Stop. There's a nice shot. That won't go. And that was Tyler French. Good open look. Campo off the rim and good. And boy, that time he did it with the right hand. He's been using the left most of the night, but he's able to finish with the right hand there. And just like that, Shane, it's 15-8.
Yeah, Knights just feeding off of this energy now in the arena. Maybe not the best game plan from the Knights to wait this long, but who could have thought that the Knights would have had 0 up until 6 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Broncos swing it around. Dribble drive into the paint, looking for some room, has to kick it back out. More good defense. There's a shot from the outside off the rim and no good. Brian Burke with the miss, but French has got the rebound and they'll get another possession here. Dribble drive, falls down. They're going to call the Knights for a foul. No, that's going to go the other way. Offensive foul, and the Broncos turn it over.
Yeah, little odd call there. I didn't see much of an offensive foul on that part. Could have been a slip maybe, but if that was anything, it would have been on the defensive end. But Los Lomas catches a break and now could pull within even 4 points after they were down 15-1.
Coach Peggy Lund running the show. You know, not too many seasons ago, they had a 20-win campaign. Not going their way so far this year, but as I said, you know, when you have a good sophomore and a good freshman class, he is really high on this team for the future.
Yeah, he's definitely put together a little bit of a better program than what they once had. And great job again on the defensive end as Northgate is so fundamentally sound there.
There's a shot from the outside and knocked down. And that's Nico Kiefer. We told him we hadn't heard much from him, but he's able to knock that one down for the Knights. There's a little floater on the inside and count that for Brian Burke. The offense is starting to heat up here, Shane. 17-11 now. 2:08 to go in the second. Patterson drives against a couple of defenders. Finish and a foul and a chance now for a Knights three-point play.
Yeah, as I had said before, when one team starts catching fire, the other team can pick up on that flame. And right now, both teams starting to definitely catch fire on both ends of the offensive possessions. But Los Lomas, great job as they're currently on what looks to be a 13-2 run.
Off the back of the iron, no good, so no three-point play there. Here come the Broncos. And here's a drive, reverse layup won't go, fighting for the rebound on the inside, and it comes away to the Knights. Here's one in the corner, three-point shot, knocked it down. Nico Kiefer back-to-back threes at 17-16. Remember we were saying it was 9-0, and now it's just a one-point ball game.
Yeah, Knights right now riding a 15-2 run.
That shot won't go. Nice rebound by David Tibbetts. Tibbetts had to collect himself, and then has the shot blocked. Great defense on the recovery. He looked like he had beaten the Broncos to the basket, but the defense recovered nicely to get the block.
Yeah, great job there from Northgate as Los Lomas looks to be pushing the pace a little bit. Northgate can't really implement that physicality that they were in the first quarter.
Fancy dribbling there, but has to give up the ball. Then it's lost. Oh, and a nice pass and a finish there by number 3, Rhodes. Well, that looked very awkward, but the Broncos stayed with it nicely, and Rhodes the beneficiary of the deuce.
Yeah, a little bit of a wonky play there as Rhodes lost it, but a great job and a great, pass there from Merrill to keep it alive.
Capo looking to work one-on-one and sweeping move and off the glass, off the rim and home with the right hand. We've seen him use the left, and now a couple of times we've seen him use the right successfully.
Yeah, ambidextrous maybe you would call him, but great job. Both teams now just cannot miss, it seems like. Boy, you were
Very
hoping
much.
for the Knights that the time would run out, but now in the second quarter, it's like they do not want halftime at the moment.
9 seconds, 8 seconds. Dribble drive inside against the defense. That one goes awry. 2 seconds, 1 second. This will count, and no good. And that's the way the half ends. So a very strange first quarter, but a much fast-paced and higher-scoring second quarter. And at the end of one half of play, it's a 19-18 lead for the Broncos. We'll be back with the third quarter in just a moment.
Yuck! What happened to the water? Somebody dumped oil in the water supply.
If you dump your oil, tempers boil, it ends up in the bay. Oh, smile, it's Oil Buster Camera. Don't want your oil to choke us, you're in focus, your neighbors just might say. Smile, it's Oil Buster Camera. Well, it's not fun to pay a big fine for polluting our water supply. No, it's not fun to talk to police as the neighbors walk on by. So now you're reeling, how's the wallet feeling? A big fine you're gonna pay. Smile, it's Oil Buster Camera. Smile, it's Oil Buster Camera.
All right, just moments away from starting the third quarter, and Shane, I don't think we could have seen any quarters more different. At one time it was 9-0. At one time it was 15-1. Los Lomas could not find anything going on offensively. Then an explosion, and now just a 1-point lead for the Broncos.
Yeah, that I would say that scoring in the second quarter was contagious from both ends. Northgate started picking up the pace a little bit when they started the second, and after a trip from Casey Capo to the foul line and a three from David Tibbetts, I don't know what happened, but the Knights just completely caught fire, going on at one point a 15-2 run against that hot Broncos defense.
Yeah, you had said, we mentioned Kiefer in the open, and we haven't, called his name since, and then he had a couple of big threes in that run to get it going.
Yeah. One thing that Northgate didn't change was their physicality on defense, but Los Lomas just picked up the pace at an unbelievable rate that Northgate just couldn't really keep up with. But look for that physicality to be kept the same throughout the course of this game.
Patterson, Balistreri's got it on the inside. The Broncos in that man-to-man defense. And Balistreri just muscles his way in, gets his own miss. Can't put back the putback, however. Can't finish with the putback, I should say.
Yeah, Northgate maybe looking to establish outside range during this half, as most of their points came from inside the paint.
Boy, near steal by Kiefer. And then, boy, using the body nicely was Dylan Golan, the sophomore, but couldn't get the ball to drop. Patterson looks to drive. Here's a shot from the outside, off the rim, and no good from Tibbetts.
With Northgate so reluctant to shoot the three-pointer last half, I'm surprised that Los Lomas is going back into a man-to-man defense. I would look for them maybe to force them to take the three a couple times, but they're kind of giving them the pain again.
Well, here, bodies on the floor. No traveling, no foul call. A lot of times in high school level, you get a body on the floor, you get that foul drop. A nice pass to Wu, going to the bucket, but he can't hit the bunny. We've seen both teams kind of miss right at point-blank range tonight. Outside shot is knocked down, and that is Dustin Marquardt, and that was a nice pass from the outside. I think that was Kiefer, who really, not really a touch pass, but got rid of it very quickly and gave Marquardt a good chance from the outside. Here's one blocked away.
Yeah,
Patterson got a piece.
Really buckling down on the defensive end right now. And, talk about picking up where you left off in the second half. Look to be doing that right now against this Northgate defense, which looks to be struggling a little bit, sticking with their man and kind of fighting through those screens, especially those high screens just there shown from Dustin Marquardt.
Kiefer, we told you, hit those 2 threes as the Knights made that run. The Knights have the lead now at 21-19. So since it was 15-1, they have really been on fire. Turnaround jumper off the rim and no good. Offensive rebound, the putback won't go, but a foul call. So the Knights going to get themselves to the free throw line. It'll be Patterson. And Marco Balistreri, he doesn't really shy away from the physicality at all. And a couple of fracases that he's been in, and Broncos have ended up on the ground a couple of times.
Yeah, Patterson, though, has been relentless on the offensive boards. He has been absolutely an animal down there, fighting through two different people. That time in the first half, he was grabbing offensive rebounds, taking the ball to the hoop, with absorbing so much contact, one of which was an and one that tied Los Lomas with Northgate towards the end of that first half.
And it's certainly been, since that first quarter, it's certainly been very different here.
Official timeout on the floor.
The officials call timeout. They want to talk things over. And Peng Ilinan is going to call his guys over. And a little huddle over here on the Knights side. 21-19 in favor of the Los Lomas Knights. 5:45 to go here in the third. From Los Lomas High School. They're announcing it now. Brady Cook gets the foul. And it'll be 2 shots for Patterson.
You know, one thing I wish they would change a little bit is when there were those official timeouts where the referees can discuss both players. All 5 players have to remain on the court and not allowed to kind of go in the huddle there, because you can see Coach Rockwell was able to kind of draw up a couple plays and have a couple conversations with players while all Northgate players were kind of just stranded talking amongst themselves. I don't think that would ever happen, but I would think that would be something to implement where the players just kind of have to stay on the court there, because it's kind of a free timeout in a sense.
It really is. And Patterson gets them both. You mentioned Jason Rockwell in his second year at the helm here for Los Lomas. Trying to get a win against the crosstown Broncos.
Northgate normally a low-scoring team, so it seems now it's the quick switch of the stories now as they're having to keep up with the Knights offense.
Oh, nice looking pass, and another one missed. Another bunny miss, but another offensive rebound, 2 offensive rebounds, and the Broncos get to keep it.
Yeah, good job from the 2 big men down low, French and Merrill, to keep it alive.
Oh, the give and go right there. That was absolutely beautiful. Brian Burke with the reverse layup to finish it off.
Right now, if I'm Northgate, not just keep up the pressure off the ball right now, but no easy threes for the Knights as they start to look to be catching fire from the outside. Keep them in the paint and keep that physicality to a high.
Use the high screen, but the Bronco defense switches nicely. Here's Patterson in trouble, able to dump it off. This ball is tipped and knocked away. Here come the Broncos. They've got a 2-on-1. There's the pass. There's the shot off the glass and hole. And Tyler French able to get the deuce, but a nice work on the fast break that time for Northgate. Patterson the drive, puts up the shot, that won't go. Good looking defense there from Luke Saunders, number 44, stayed right with Patterson. And even though Patterson with the nice drive, really made that a much more difficult shot.
Yeah, and plus just the 2 big men right now, Northgate, French and Merritt, doing a great job of being able to move their feet on defense and work hard on that defensive end and hopefully get rewarded on the offensive end.
Boy, how about Casey Capo with that post defense right there? Talk about making a shot a lot tougher.
Yeah, great job being able to stick with it as Northgate looked to be finding French on the interior.
And French has got it again. A couple of white shirts around him. Now we're going to have a foul called over on the far side. 3:45 to go here in the third, and a 23-23 tie. Well, Patterson with the foul, his second personal, and 1 team foul on each club here so far in the third. Patterson going to come out along with David Tibbetts, both out of the ball game. And I can see Lindsay, number 10, is coming to the ball game. That's the first time I've had a chance to see him tonight.
Yeah, and I definitely keep aware of that matchup down low between French and Capo. Doing a great job, both of them working hard on the defense and offensive end. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out in the fourth quarter, too.
Boy, Capo there again, guarding that drive by Merrill. Number 24 was trying to get inside and just couldn't. Here's a shot from the outside off the Rim of the glass, no good, but firing in there to get the offensive rebound. That was very nicely done by Marquardt. And now we have a foul. The shot will not count. Boy, where did Marquardt come from on that last rebound?
Yeah, flying in there. Most of the Broncos were just kind of watching it come down there, but
wings on his shoes that time. That's kind of one you're going to watch it on your TV screen. He's just going to come out of nowhere to get that rebound and give the Knights another possession here.
Yeah, I'm interested to see really how much this high intensity can keep up throughout the next 11 or so minutes of this game. Both teams playing so hard, but both teams don't go as deep down to the bench. Both only have maybe a couple players they can bring off that can really make an impact on the offensive defensive end. So I'll look to see how they can keep fresh throughout the rest of this game.
Capo on the drive, and they're going to call a push on the baseline. And they're going to get Merrill with his first personal. That will be the third team foul against the Broncos, but Capo, after making a couple of those shots, you saw that he looks so good when he puts the ball on the floor. Casey Capo, really an inside game. He can also hit the pull-up three. I don't think we've seen him attempt too many of those here tonight. Here's the shot, and that is knocked down. Balistreri from downtown.
Yeah,
so he can do that physical, that thuggery work that he's been so good at, but show some more skills right there.
Yeah, good touch there on the three from the big man. And also he's saying on Capo, great footwork he's able to have for such a big guy.
Well, there's a bump and a foul. Balistreri with the rebound. And Gearing going to be called with the foul. So that's Nate's first personal. Fourth team foul now on the Broncos. So just a couple more and they'll be in the bonus. Or I should say the Knights would be in the bonus. So Los Lomas wants to take timeout. That'll be a 30-second timeout. So this is the first senior class for Pangilinan. Told you he's in his fourth year. Last year, they did make the North Coast section, lost in the first round at Newark Memorial. But, his other seniors had three different coaches, and then they really changed the culture around here at Northgate. A lot more interest from the boys, and he's telling me, each of the last few years, they've had 90 kids come out and try out for these teams. So that really tells you a lot, and that's good news that people really around here really want to play basketball for Northgate High School.
Yeah, putting together a really good program when they're early going. So definitely a great sign to see from Northgate, who looked to struggle about 4 to 5 years ago.
It's like Northgate back to that zone defense now. Let's see how Capo handles it. And they're going to get him with the devil dribble. Casey not very happy with that call. Apparently get a brief pause in there or something and then put the ball back on the floor. Tough to see from my vantage point. But
yeah, definitely an iffy call, but making a call like that, you got to be pretty sure of yourself, and I'd say they're pretty sure of that.
Shot, that won't go. Capo the defensive board now. 2:09 to go here in this third quarter. Knights by 3. They trailed most of the game, but this matches their biggest lead of the game. Balistreri against the double team, throws it back outside. Boy, I'm not sure where that one was going, but Knights lucky to keep it. There's a three-point shot off the rim, no good. And what a rebound, almost, and then finally getting it. Boy, that was fantastic by Marquardt. And he's going to draw the foul, and the Knights, Capo draws the foul. He's going to go to the foul line. I tell you, Marquardt on a couple of rebounds looked spectacular.
Yeah, he's got some great tenacity there from the guy that you want, especially the guy that's not the biggest guy on the court. Great to see a guy coming after a ball that much. And really at the start of this game, what was tailoring so much towards Northgate was just slow, methodical play, able to keep each possession, running out the shot clock, finding the best open look, forcing Los Lomas to take ill-advised shots late in the shot clock. But now Los Lomas has kind of flipped the switch where they're able to control the tempo of this game. They're able to push the ball when they want. Northgate, if you can see in the first 5 seconds of each offensive possession for the Knights, they're a little flat-footed. They don't exactly know their positioning. So if I'm Northgate, I'm looking to maybe slow this game down back to what it was in the first quarter and take each possession like you want to run out that clock, only being down 4.
1-2 for Capo, 27-23 in favor of Las Lomas as we tick under 1:35 to go here in the third. Dribble drive, beautiful stutter step, and lays it off the glass and home. And that is Rhodes going all the way, and just a little bit of a stutter to lull the defense to sleep, and then he explodes to the hole. Nicely done.
Yeah, great little kiss off the glass there. Good to see from him finally get on the score sheet.
Boy, Balistreri didn't look like he had any room at all, working against, I think that was number 23, Tyler French. And somehow he got a shot off, and it looked like it was going to go in, but that defense was very good that time. And Balistreri, and he bumps into one of the Broncos, knocking him down, and, totally inadvertent, but Balistreri, is he on the wrestling team too?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that defensive effort was. A lot of Knights fans unhappy with that, and I'm a little unsure why. There's a difference between playing up straight and falling towards the person that you're defending, so a little bit too aggressive there on his end, but he's definitely contributed an immense amount to this Knights team.
Well, I'd say if we were playing football, he'd be the leading tackler tonight. Here's one taken away, nearly taken back. That went off the foot of one of the Broncos players. Northgate gonna get it, and now we're gonna have timeout called by Northgate. And that was a pretty wise timeout there by Jason Rockwell to keep possession. So that will be a full timeout, 27-25, 46 seconds to go here in the third. Take a look at this crowd on a Friday night, not a seat to be had. And this is one of the venues that if you get here late on one of these nights, a football night, a big basketball night on a Friday, I'll tell you what, look for street parking right away because there's going to be none when you get into the parking lot.
Yeah, it took me a while to find parking myself. And, Las Lomas has really kept up this tradition since about 2 to 3 years ago. They had a team that went all the way to state finals, and they unfortunately came up short to that unbelievably talented Chino Hills team in Southern California. But that kind of started this trend for Las Lomas. They had a lot of great players. One guy that went to Stanford on scholarship.
Wow.
It was kind of an amazing team. They were blowing out opponents every single game. And they might have got a little bit worse since then, but that fan base has stayed strong as they look to show up packed every single game.
There are the Broncos facing a 2-point deficit. There's a strong take, inside won't go. And there's going to be an offensive rebound, and then we're going to have a foul on the floor. Boy, that rebound grabbed by Friedman, and he looked like he was going to get knocked down, but he was able to stay on his feet, but the officials right on that to call the foul. 5 team fouls for Las Lomas, 3 for the Broncos. 37 seconds to go here in the third. Shot goes up and knocked down from downtown. And that is Gearing knocking down that three. And back at the other end, there's a miss. Defensive rebound here for the Broncos. Here they go, 2-on-1. Here comes Campo over to defend. The bunny on the follow won't go. And a good-looking rebound there by Barker.
Kiefer and McMahon were the two guys we talked about most in this game, but it's been the team around them that have really showed up to kind of take hand in this game and do their best to succeed.
Well, there's a shot, and Marquardt gets that one to go. He missed the 3 the last time, but not shy as the third quarter clock runs down, and that will do it. We are through 3 quarters, and how about this comeback by the Knights? They lead it 30-28. We'll come back for the fourth quarter in just a moment.
Looked to be a foul there on the last.
Oh. Actually, there was a foul called, so they're going to put 1 second back on the clock here, and I believe they called a technical foul.
Well, what it looked like was number on the screen right now, number 20, Caden Friedman had looked to attempt a half-court shot at the end of the buzzer, and number 5, Bevenu, had really just looked to kind of contest and block it, but it might have got a hand on there with just 3 shots now for Friedman. An unfortunate break for Los Lomas. I don't know why Bevenue really contests that.
Well, here's Friedman on the foul line here, and this one no good. They'll get one more. Boy, the Knights fans they've been very vocal here tonight, but never more so than on free throws.
Yeah, free throws have been their strong suit.
So 0 for 2, but he's going to get one more here.
Boy, you do not
watch
want to
the
go for
explosion
three.
if he misses the third.
Man, Coach Rockwell's really getting into it right now on the sideline.
No good. And that will do it for the third quarter. So 3 straight missed free throws, and that leaves the score at 30-28. It's Los Lomas with the lead. What a comeback they've made. A fresh 8 minutes showing back on the fourth quarter clock, and we'll be back to Los Lomas right after this. Back for the fourth quarter now. A fresh 8 minutes on that fourth quarter clock. 30-28 in favor of Los Lomas. They got off to the terrible start, but they have roared back. They've led by, I believe, by as many as 3 a couple of times, and they currently lead it by 2. Anthony Schultz along with Shane Wilk, and a three-point shot, and that is knocked down from downtown. Dylan Golan, and another one of those great sophomores they've got on this team.
Making up for the 3 missed free throws at the end of the third quarter. Making up for the 3 missed free throws at the end of that third quarter.
Patterson on the drive. Nearly lost it. This one is battered around, and the shot goes. And that is good, and that makes it 33-31.
Yeah, both teams trading baskets here early on in that fourth quarter. I would look to see physicality going down a peg just because both teams' best players have accumulated so many fouls in this first 3 quarters of the game that you don't want to foul out, or if this game goes to overtime, you don't want to lose your best players late in the game.
Here's a drive. That one knocked away and taken by Los Lomas. That's Conrad into the ball game. Number 24 ends up with that basketball. 2-point lead here for the Knights, trying to extend it right here. Screen, but the double team comes in.
High screen's really been the story here for the Knights in the second half. Works great for these three-point hot shootings in the second half, too.
Balistreri with the muscle backing in and flipping in with the left hand.
Yeah, he's really found his touch come late in this game. He's been hitting from the outside, inside, a little physical on some portions, so he's going to have to be careful of being in foul trouble.
Boy, here's one knocked away, but Saunders comes up with it, surrounded by opponents. Here's a shot from the outside. That won't go. Tipped around, and the Broncos going to get it back. Couple of offensive rebounds on this possession. Saunders wants the 3. That won't go. And finally, Patterson the rebound, but first we're going to have a foul And that is going to go against Los Lomas and Conrad.
Foul called on number 24, Elijah Conrad. First personal, big team foul.
Well, there's a first personal for Elijah. He's going to come out of the ball game now. And Casey Campo going to come back in.
Yeah, right now, Northgate doing a great job kind of being able to handle this environment. But they're going to need to catch some fire from the outside because they've missed a handful of shots.
Well, there's one right there that won't go.
It's unfortunate to see a team that's played such good defense just unable to answer on the offensive end, but the Knights have kept this pressure on to a great extent for these past few quarters.
Balistreri looks to back in, has this one taken away. Good looking steal, racing ahead of the floor, and this shot is going to be blocked, but we're going to have a foul. And that was Nathan Wu on the drive, and now they're going to call an offensive foul. So second personal against Nathan, 16 foul, one more, and it's going to be bonus time. Los Lomas wants to call timeout.
Yeah, one thing definitely who I think could be a big key to the end of this game is a guy that hasn't really shown up on the score sheet is Nathan Wu. Los Lomas has really found their stride when they've played both Balistreri and they've played Capo at the same time. Two big guys, two strong guys. And the only people that Northgate really have to combat that is Dylan McMahon and Nathan Wu. So when you look at that kind of from an outside perspective, you want McMahon on the outside shooting the ball because he's your best shooter. But when you've got a guy like Capo and Balistreri on the inside, it's going to take away from Northgate having that outside threat. So you have Nathan Wu taking almost all the responsibility guarding whatever big is on the floor there. So if he's able to shut it down inside, that'll give Northgate a huge chance to be able to get really a presence outside of the key.
Well, let's see how they play it the rest of the way. Down to 5:20 to go here in the ball game. Dribble drive, ball knocked away, but it's going to be recovered by Tibbetts. Here's Capo, wheeling his way in, using some physicality, kicks it back out. Tibbetts on the drive, has it knocked it away. Capo there to take it. 5 on the shot clock. Here comes Casey against a triple team. The dish, and this one is going to be put back by Balistreri after the Kiefer miss.
Yeah, Wu just unable to stay physical with Balistreri there. He's got the height, the weight. I mean, Wu's really going to have to do a good job of boxing out if Northgate's going to want to keep that ball on the outside and not give up anything inside with these two big men going in on the inside for the Knights.
That shot won't go. On an offensive rebound and a putback, and how about that from Luke Saunders? Kind of just snuck by everybody, grabbed it in, and scores with the reverse layup. 37-33 in favor of the Knights. 4:25 to go. Capo kicks it out. Jump shot. That won't go. And the rebound to the Broncos, and they clear.
You know, one thing I had mentioned in the third quarter is how Northgate's kind of flat-footed when they get back on defense. They can't really slow the game down. But great adjustment here from Northgate now as they have no full court pressure at all and make sure everybody is set in back on defense when Los Lomas ever brings it up now.
That was good transition defense by the Broncos. It looked like the Knights were going to get a fast break, but the Broncos able to get back. But here's Patterson on that lefty drive, and he lays it off the glass and home. Boy, Patterson showing some quickness right there, able to get through the teeth of the defense and able to score, and it's a 39-33 lead. And check this out, 3:43 to go, and Los Lomas, I don't want to say pulling away, but trying to put a little bit of space between them and the Broncos.
Yeah, they're a couple more baskets and stops away from almost putting this game to bed, but Northgate, I mean, you don't want to say that in the early goings of games you really missed the shot, but boy, Northgate missed a huge opportunity at the start of this game to not put this game to bed, but give themselves a comfortable enough lead to not put such pressure on their offense in this situation. They did extend themselves out to a 14-1 lead at one point, but giving up 0 points in the first quarter and only scoring 5 kind of just kept that door open, kept a little life in this Knights team to be able to have a surge like this.
No, it's been a fantastic comeback, and just the guys believing in themselves. They've had a tough time of it of late, down by a lot here at home to the crosstown rival, and you know, since it was 15-1, they've just really played great basketball. And with the offense being so sluggish, you know, sometimes you're missing baskets, get a little timid, but they didn't.
Yeah, Los Lomas has been putting together some great offensive drives here lately.
Boy, now we're going to have a foul. Looked like they had the double team working against Tyler French, and then he got away from one guy, knocked the other guy down, and able to draw the foul. He'll go to the free throw line. 16 fouls now on both.
Man, Coach Rockwell taking the initiative of cleaning up the paint there as the bodies were flying towards the end of that.
Coach Pangilian. That's a tough one for me to say. I had to phonetically write it there to be able to say it properly. French's foul shot, and that is no good. So Coach P, pardon me, guys. Coach P from Concord High School, went to San Francisco State. This is his 27th year of coaching. Started way back in the early 90s with the Acalanes JV girls team. His first head coaching job came in '99 over there with College Park. French is second, and that one's no good.
You got both these coaches almost having a chess match here, with Rockwell with the advantage right now. Having, again, Balistreri and Capel on the court at the same time forces Northgate to play big, when at the start of this game you can see in the starting lineup they're used to playing small ball and kind of being able to work from the inside and outside.
Boy, Capel with that baby hook after backing his man down, can't get it to go. And now we're going to have a jump ball called, and possession arrow says Knights basketball. But boy, Capel, took a page out of Balistreri's book, but he is a guy that plays on the inside, able to use that muscle to get inside, and couldn't hit that baby hook.
Yeah, Los Lomas, though, with a second chance. May not seem like a lot, but when you give a team another 35 seconds to run off the clock, that's huge.
Capo going all the way. Balistreri the follow and finish.
Northgate just completely unable to stay with their men. They're almost running down the court before they've even gained possession of the ball. They need to do a better job of boxing out, but right now you've got 4 small bodies on the floor.
Off the glass and home for the score, and a chance now for a Bronco three-point play. And that's Brady Cook able to finish on that one. Well, Brady shoots it well, gets to the basket, and he was able to get to the basket that time. So the scouting report was right, and going up against guys that are quite a bit taller than him and still able to finish.
Yeah.
Free throw.
When you're undersized like that, the key is being able to be physical, which they've done most of this game, and box out and take care of the man that you are assigned to. And when you kind of get a little lazy off that, you can start giving up some easy baskets and easy cuts.
Full court press, no problem for the Knights as we tick down to 2:30 and counting. And here's drive to the basket, shot won't go, but David Tibbetts on that drive and the foul call. So that'll be the third personal against McMahon, and Tibbetts going to go to the free throw line, 41-36 in favor of Los Lomas. But we talked about Pangilian and the time at College Park. He was there actually 10 years. Here's a shot that won't go. He's got 4 kids, and one of his daughters ended up going to Los Lomas, so he ended up taking the Los Lomas girls job. He was there for 5 years. And he was at Bentley for a while, 5 years there, and now Northgate ever since. Here's the shot, and that one is good. And right now 42-36, so a 6-point lead. And that was almost looked like an errant pass down to that blind corner from our vantage point. Good looking drive, shot up off the glass and home. Brady Cook. We told you when he gets hot, he can really light it up. And boy, that was a great looking move there.
Yeah, one thing I can definitely see in his game right now is he's gained a lot of confidence. His ability right now to take it to the hoop, despite big bodies down there, is a great job for Northgate going forward, as they can look to rely on him towards, of course, the rest of this game.
He's hit a couple of big baskets here lately. Patterson off the glass and home as he lays it in, draws the foul, and a chance now for a Knights three-point play.
Huge answer there from Patterson. Right when Northgate needed to stop potentially to pull this within a 1 to 2 point game, Patterson comes up massive with an and one. Somehow was able to absorb that contact and finish with such a soft touch to be able to get the roll.
There's a chance to see if he can complete the three-point play. Both teams in the bonus right now. And here's Patterson trying to tack on one more. No Knights on the blocks. Shot is good, and Patterson converts, and it's a Los Lomas Knights three-point play. The officials call timeout. They got to wipe up some moisture there on the baseline. And yeah, look who's doing it again.
Coach Rockwell is involved in almost every aspect of this game, but actually playing.
Part of the cleanup crew, too. 45-38. Broncos need some baskets, and they can ill afford to trade hoops now. There's a long one that won't go. The follow is good.
McMahon, great box out there, and great job to get above Balistreri.
Huge one. Here's that full court pressure again. Patterson breaks it pretty easily. He's stripped out of bounds, it goes, but the Knights get it back, and they still got some time on the shot clock. Game clock shows a minute 28 to go, and the shot clock shows 28 to go. And now we'll see if the Knights we contend here to try to run some time, but it's still just a two-possession game.
And Northgate in desperate need of a stop.
There's a shot that won't go. Air ball rebounded by McMahon. Here he comes up the floor, and a bump and a foul.
Great awareness that time from Brady Cook. He saw the pressure coming on what looked to be Balistreri that time, but he saw the pressure coming, didn't really go for that much of an advised shot, but able to take the contact, get himself two shots at the line, and he's done a great job of getting to the hoop this past couple minutes.
Yeah, he really has, and he's able to convert the shot. And we said going up against bigger guys, and was very willing to take the body contact, feeling that was probably the best way he was going to be able to have a chance to score.
Yeah, definitely. And right now, he should be the guy that Northgate looks to. They've played great team ball throughout this entire game, but right now in crunch time, you've got to look to your best scorer, and Cook right now has been the whole weapon of this fourth quarter for them.
Yeah, he's had 3 drives that have resulted in points. Balistreri gets it across the line. Capo's got it. Under a minute to go now. Just a one-possession game here between these crosstown rivals. And now Los Lomas calls timeout. They want to talk it over. So with 55 seconds to go here, it's a 45-42 Los Lomas lead. They look like they were starting to put a little bit of pressure on the Broncos, put a little space between them and Northgate, but the Broncos have answered very well, and really driving to the basket against taller guys has kind of been the recipe for success.
Yeah. Northgate didn't see a lot of success from the outside the arc throughout this entire game. They've hit shots here and there, but doesn't really seem to be their forte. They've really found their success in the paint, and from the most unlikely of guys, they haven't found the success in the paint through their big men like McMahon, Wu. They found it through, one of the smallest guys on the court in Brady Cook, and he's not just done a great job at being able to get to the hoop and finish, but he's done a great job taking contact. Almost every time he's got to the hoop, he's taken contact and either converted in a three-point play or just got to the line. In his successful free throw shooting, he's able to get 2 points every time. It's almost just as good as a basket.
And then when you have guys like, you love guys that can do that, because you talk about the bigs for Los Lomas and how good they are. When you got a guy like Cook operating the way he is, you end up putting a lot of fouls on those guys down low.
Definitely, and a little questionable substitution here from Northgate, as Los Lomas is completely outsizing them right now. Northgate going to have to play very physical at the moment.
Boy, ball is lost, taken by the Broncos, and they can tie or cut it to 1 on this trip down the floor. Nearly lost it there. Saunders has got it, and now the Broncos want to call timeout. So Northgate wants to talk it over. Still a 3-possession game, 36 ticks to go.
Now, one thing right now, if I'm Northgate, there's 36 seconds to go. Once you've taken a shot here, the shot clock will be off, but you do not need a 3 on this possession. I know you're down by 3 points. It's towards the end of the game. You want to tie it up, potentially force this game to overtime, but a 2 is not the worst thing in the world. If you pull within 1, and I'm assuming Los Lomas gives them the 2, you pull within 1, odds are Los Lomas is not going to hit both free throws at the line if you foul, or you give your defense a chance to potentially get a steal. So I would look Northgate here to maybe try and just get 2 quick points at the basket and give themselves a lot of time attempt. And even though if Los Lomas makes both free throws, given they are fouled, you get to play a foul game for a little bit longer rather than take a three and hopefully they miss just one.
The Broncos back on the floor. Knight still talking it over. We talked about this sophomore class. 4 sophomores on this squad right now, including Golan and Brady Cook, Luke Joseph, and Thane Merrill, the others. But you talk about that good sophomore class. You got a couple of guys that are playing, crunch time minutes and a big part of the team right now. And boy, as a coach of that team, you really got to be, very pleased looking to the future with this club.
Yeah, great start he's got going here. Both coaches, great programs and great players they've got coached very, very well.
You always wonder about those senior-laden teams. When the seniors are gone, how good are they going to be? There is the shot off the glass and home, and a nice-looking pass to get it down to Luke Saunders, who makes it a 1-point game. Here's that full-court pressure. The Knights have been able to break it the last couple of times, and now we're going to get the foul. And it's going to be a free throw situation, and this is going to be a 1-and-1 situation here.
Definitely fouled the right guy, being a 1-and-1, and you've got their biggest guy on the courts at the line, making him almost a zero threat to get this rebound. Warranted, it's not a crazy bounce. So great job from McMahon there to be able to get back, and good play call from McMahon to go to Saunders there, take the easy 2 and give themselves a shot at potentially only needing a 2 to tie rather than a 3.
They always like the guys in a situation like that with that much time. Take the higher percentage shot if it's available. First one, no good. But look who gets the rebound. How about that? But now trapped on the sideline there, we're going to have another foul call.
Wow, huge break there for Northgate. McMahon has 4 fouls, and it looked like he had committed his 5th foul there, but given to Burke there, great break for Northgate right there. But also, it looked to be a big, 2 shots now, but it looked to be a big push-off down low on the low block against McMahon that wasn't called. So a little bit of a break for the Knights.
Well, and how about the play of the game? And the first one is good. Well, that'll make it a 2-point game, but the huge play of this game is Balistreri missing the front end of a 1-and-1 and then ended up getting the offensive rebound.
Yeah, I had said right before he has the worst chance of getting it, and off that bounce, the best chance of getting it.
He got the long bounce. Second one is good. And how about that by David Tibbetts in crunch time here, calmly knocking down a couple of foul shots. Down to 11 seconds, and we got a foul on the floor here. So the 1-and-1 comes up here, but that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world for Los Lomas, because at the very least, shooting these foul shots, it's okay for Los Lomas as long as you don't get a make and then an offensive rebound on this end.
Yeah, good foul there from the Knights. Not the best person you'd want at the line if you're Los Lomas when you got Brady Cook, who's been sinking them pretty much all game, but great foul, not able to give Northgate a look at a 3.
Can he make the first one? Yes.
Boy,
that was the 1-and-1. That really was. That was a big shot. Now, here it is. If he gets the shot here, you make it a 1-point game. But what Los Lomas has to fear here, Shane, is the miss in the offensive rebound and putback. That's what they really have to prevent.
Yeah,
they can live with a make.
Yeah.
And they get it.
And looked like Capo and Balistreri were on it if there was a miss at any point.
Able to stay away, and now they got the foul, but a couple of precious seconds tick away there while they waited.
Yeah, when that inbounds pass comes in, you foul immediately.
Right.
Your best chance of a steal is the inbounds pass, and when you don't get it, you've got to foul quickly. Northgate, unfortunately, put in a position here where if Los Lomas again makes both, Northgate's got to get the ball up the court and actually get a 3 off. What Los Lomas could be looking to do is commit a foul before they've actually taken a 3 and not even give them an opportunity to shoot the 3.
That's a good point. I can live with the 2 foul shots. It's the 3 that can really kill you.
So right now, pressure is on Marquet to sink both of these free throws and put Los Lomas in a great position to win if his players are basically have the right mindset of committing a foul on Northgate before they can get a 3 off.
Yeah, I think that really is the plan. You don't want to get there late and let him get the shot off because you'd hate to get that making a foul and give that extra foul shot. And there's Marquardt knocking it down. Boy, Tibbetts, couple of big foul shots. Marquardt coming up here with another one. So he can make it a 3-point game here, just 6 seconds to go. And unlike the NBA, you can't call timeout and move the ball to half court. Here's the next one. That is good. 49-46. And the Broncos will talk it over.
Boy, this is going to be a tough situation for this Northgate team right now. The problem that they face right now is you want to draw up a great play to get one of your best shooters, which I'm looking to would be Cook or McMahon, to have an open look at a 3. But once you get that pass inbound, and Los Lomas is going to be looking to swarm and get a foul off, and then you got to put Northgate in a situation of great. Now we got to make a free throw and miss on purpose and get a putback. So it's a tricky situation Northgate's got to deal with right now.
Well, Los Lomas trying to shake off some tough losses lately. We told you they lost 3 in a row. They had a couple of mistakes in that stretch run against Acalanes. That ball game went into overtime. They ended up losing that one. And then against College Park on Wednesday, they got down early, but came back, got to within 3 and ran out of gas. Well, they were down early here tonight, and they have done anything but run out of gas here against Northgate.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it much better.
Okay, here's the inbound. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. There's that 3-point shot. No good, and that will do it. And the Los Lomas Knights escape with the win. What a great game. And the Broncos won that game on January the 10th. So Los Lomas comes up with the win here to even the season series, and more importantly, they really kind of end their losing streak and keep the Broncos on theirs.
Yeah, boy, that shot couldn't have come much closer from Merrill. Off the board, off around the rim a couple times. Man, that is a heartbreak for Northgate. Not the greatest shot in the world, but you couldn't have asked for that much better with such little time.
He got a pretty good look considering they decided not to foul, and the shot almost went in. So what you were talking about really came into play. Did he want to go ahead and make them shoot the foul shots? No, they said, like, we're going to go ahead and let them take the 3, and it worked out well. But what more can you say about Los Lomas? They were down early. It was 9-0. It was 15-1. And they just roared back. And we were wondering, Shane, where is this offense? And it really showed up after they got down by 14.
Yeah, I mean, scoring 49 points in 3 quarters isn't too shabby. They were 1 quarter of not scoring 0 away from having a great offensive game and putting up way more than they normally average. So great job from Los Lomas to kind of keep their composure there. You only score 0 points. Oh, well. Now let's get after it in the second, third, and fourth quarter. And basically after being down 14-1,
right,
they turned it on big time, outscoring them 48-32, and really just taking control of this game, especially in the paint, with Northgate just unable to compete with those bodies.
Boy, Shane, I love that quick math. Folks, he's not even writing this down. This is all in his head. Nicely done, Shane. Northgate now runs their record to their record drops to 8-14. They'll drop to 2-6 in league play. For Los Lomas, they go to 14-7 and 3-5 overall. So we talked about it being really kind of a playoff game. Both teams really need to put some wins together if they were going to make the North Coast section. But what a great game here tonight. And thank you to Shane Wilk. And I'm Anthony Schultz. For all of us here at Walnut Creek TV, we want to say good night from Los Lomas High School.